Okay, folks, I have my next guest on here. You want to go ahead and tell us who you are and what you do?
Sure. Hey, my name is DJ Luongo, and I own and operate Don's Dogs Food Truck. We're out of Bel Air, Maryland, and it's our seventh year in business. Trying to get better every day and serve the community.
Wow, I didn't realize it was 7 years.
Yeah, 7 years. So we started off 2016 with
Wow.
a little pull behind hot dog cart, and just working on weekends, doing fairs, festivals, whatever we can get into, trying to build the Rolodex and figure out what works, what doesn't, and then just kind of outgrew the cart after about 3 years, which was a good problem to have, but didn't want to commit to going full time with a food truck or trailer, because my
Mhm.
wife and I were both working full time jobs at the time, and you know we didn't want to take that leap of faith because didn't really need to. It was kind of a weekend hobby sort of thing, just extra money, down payment on the house, upgrades, just kind of fun money sort of thing.
Right.
And then we all know what happened in 2020, and my wife lost her job, and we were kind of sitting
Oh,
around. She just goes, "Hey, we should buy a food truck." And I
that's
was like, "Hold up, we're down to one income, and you want to buy a food truck and start from scratch?" So
that's great.
I kind of looked at her and was like, "You know what? F it, let's go."
Let's do it.
So we went down to DC because at the time, all the DC food trucks were for sale because DC was shut down, and all the trucks in DC kind of based their whole business model on that foot traffic from the offices.
Uh-huh.
And since all the offices were not there, they were working from home or laid off or whatever happened. None of the food trucks could survive.
Yeah,
So
that's definitely that was a big challenge, man. 2020 was horrible.
yeah. So luckily for us, there was a ton of food trucks for sale in that area. So we went down, looked at one, or looked at a bunch, but we ended up scooping one up, and it was an old like Vietnamese taco truck, like a taco fusion truck.
Oh
Bought it
wow.
from this lovely couple who were moving back to their home country, and they were nice enough to give us a good deal on the truck. And we got it home, kind of sat around and stared at it for a couple weeks, and realized it was a little too small for what we needed. It was a pretty tiny truck, and ended up selling that thing and buying the truck we have now. And we built that the winter of 2020. So I think we got it in August 2020, and built it over the winter, and then debuted it in spring of 21, and still going strong today.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I didn't realize you had another truck before this one. Wow.
Yeah, well, it never saw the light of day. Just kind of sat in the parking lot for a couple weeks, and
Gotcha.
we realized that it wasn't going to work, so we
You're
got
like,
rid
this
of
is
that
not
one.
going to work for us. We need something bigger.
Yeah. I mean, and our truck now isn't big, but it's bigger. So,
Mhm.
and now we're having the same problem as before, where I think we've outgrown this truck, and we've learned a lot about our processes and what works and what doesn't work, and we think um, we think a bigger truck's probably on the horizon here in the next couple of years.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, nothing like growth, right? That's awesome. Did you choose hot dogs and a food truck? And
Okay, so growing up, big Italian family, so cooking was always kind of ingrained in us. Um, big meals every meal, pasta 5 times a week. Typical Italian food. Daily, um, which was cool. And I was always that kid in high school trying to make a buck off anything. So I know when we were in high school, burning CDs was a big thing. So I'd sell burned CDs for $5, and I was always hustling for a buck. Um, and I knew I always wanted to do something of my own. I just never knew what. And then growing up in Jersey, we always my dad always took us to hot dog trucks. They're very popular up there.
Nice.
They're kind of everywhere. Much different than other styles of hot dogs you see. Jersey's known for dirty water dogs, so there's steamed hot dogs, very traditional toppings, your onions, your relish, your kraut. But I always love going there. I always got plain ones. So I kind of always thought it'd be neat to have a hot dog cart. Never really put any thought into it, and then 2016 rolled around and decided to kind of take the chance and see where it led. But yeah, the food thing, it was kind of the only option. I couldn't see myself doing anything else. I mean, I'm not really good at anything else. I'm not saying I'm good at this either, but it's definitely something I love, and it's not so much even cooking food that I enjoy. It's just serving people. I love people come up, and it's just cool to feed people. And I think that's kind of the Italian upbringing in me.
Yeah, I'm part Italian myself, and I get that as well. I love helping people. And it's how we are.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. It's always, what can you do for someone else, and put yourself last. At least that's how it is in our family. So
Right.
yeah, definitely
Exactly.
a brotherhood.
Yeah. Yep. So is it just hot dogs, or do you have other items on your menu?
So yeah, obviously the name's Don's Dog. So our kind of signature is our specialty hot dogs. There's really no one else doing it, but we do serve all of our toppings. You can get on a hot dog, a burger, or Italian sausage.
Oh, nice.
Which is pretty neat. So it's kind of like a choose your protein and then choose your topping sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which is awesome. It allows us to have a pretty concise amount of toppings, but you get triple of the options because you could select your protein. And then also we have tater tots, which seem to be pretty popular. Actually, ironically enough, our Krabby Tots are our number one seller on the whole truck.
Wow.
Yeah, so they outsell hot dogs and everything. So
well, I'm gonna have to try those.
yeah, no, they're great. They're great. We make crab dip pretty much every day from scratch,
Mm-hmm.
and it's always, if we do sell out, it's always the first thing to sell out.
Wow.
Yeah,
that is awesome. So do you have Don's hot dog eating contest yet?
Oh, funny you mentioned that because we actually have something in the works for this 4th of July.
That's awesome.
So we should be having a contest this 4th of July. Still finalizing some details, but it is looking like it is going to happen. It'll be in Bel Air. We have a venue already set. Don't want to say anything yet, but
right.
It is coming. It is coming.
That's great. And I want to let anybody that's listening to this know that was not a staged question. I just pulled it out of my head to ask you because it's hot dogs, and I was just curious if you're going to have a contest.
Yeah. It's always kind of the natural progression, right? If you have hot dogs, you got to have a hot dog eating contest. Got to see how many you can shove down your throat, right?
Yeah, and have Q.A.C come out and get on your truck.
Yeah, we got to get Joey Chestnut down here. I think he's probably booked on the 4th, but
yeah,
we'll find a good crowd.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. So, what are some of the challenges that you face?
Oh man, where do I start? I'm sure it's the same as a ton of other small businesses, like rising costs. We've been actually very lucky this year to have a great crew. We definitely wouldn't be where we were today without the 4 or 5 diehard crew members we have.
Mm-hmm.
They just make everything so much easier, and they're all so smart and driven, and they care just as much about the business as me and my family do. So it makes things so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
So luckily we didn't have to fight with that this year as far as staff, which I know is a huge problem across the board everywhere right now.
Yeah, that's been a huge challenge.
It's killing it. It's killing a lot of businesses. And it's tough. I mean, it's really tough to keep your pay competitive, and then find good people that care. And it's you got to find the right mix of people. And food truck business isn't exactly for everyone, because it's like a kitchen, but then it's also traveling, and then it's also you're doing everything. So you know we were very lucky this year with our staff. We have a great core group of 4 or 5 individuals that have really made our lives very easy this year, as far as being able to depend on them and elevating their game and really taking ownership of their position with us. And we've just been so fortunate. I can't even say enough good things about who we have right now. It's fantastic.
And that's great. And of course, that's my business, Secret Shopping. That's what I'm the core fundamentals of my business is the coaching, the mentoring, and generally helping businesses retain and find good employees. And
Sure,
that
it's a
that's a
struggle.
challenge. Yeah, it's a challenge across the board, and I hear it a lot, but we're working on it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to try. And I'm actually kind of bummed we're losing our cook, our main food truck cook, at the end of next month. He's moving away to pursue his dreams. So
Hmm.
we'll be back to square one, looking for someone to take over the food truck cook.
Nice.
And you
Okay.
know but so it goes, right? Revolving door. Can't expect everyone to stick around forever.
Right. Exactly.
Everyone's got their own dreams and desires. And he's a very, very talented young man. He's actually a music producer. So
Oh, it's great.
yeah, he's moving down south and hopes to you know find some luck down there with his passion and his talent.
That's
And
great, man.
I'm sure he'll do it. I mean, he's a great kid, good
Yeah.
work ethic. So
Right. So when I post this podcast, I'll make sure I send a message that you guys are looking for a cook.
yeah, I mean, hey, take any help we can get. Right? There's
Hey,
a couple
right.
people have expressed interest, but you never know. I mean, we're coming into the end of our season now, so really no point of hiring anybody now before the winter,
Hmm.
just because there's not much stuff to do. But probably February ish, we'll be looking to bring someone on um, to work with us and work alongside us on the truck. So
That's great. So,
yeah, it'll be nice.
so you do have a season. It's not like you're not 24/7 every day.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much after Halloween, the all the typical food truck events. Well, I shouldn't say all the Firehouse food truck events stop, and some of them have already stopped. The breweries keep going. All the breweries keep going throughout the season, but obviously, nature of the business is weather driven, and not too many people are dying to go outside to a food truck when it's 30 degrees out and possibly sleeting. So
3 foot of
um,
snow, and I'm going to trench out to get a hot dog, man. I'd do it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I appreciate your dedication. I wish there was a couple thousand more people like you guys that would help out. But
Right.
yeah, we're lucky enough that we can kind of, and we'll do scattered stuff. First couple weeks of November, we have a few things going on, but it pretty much dies out from then.
Hmm.
Lucky for us, though, we run the concession stand here at the local ice rink. Um, and those seasons are pretty much opposite. So as the food truck dies, the ice rink will ramp up. So we'll spend our time down there, and then when the spring starts or when the spring hits, we'll kind of flip back and we'll get back into food truck mode, and the snack bar will kind of get quiet, and we'll go about our next year.
Hmm. Hey, you beat me to the punch, man. I was just about to ask you about the other little thing you got working on there, and that is Ice World, right? And that's in Abingdon, right?
Yes, sir. It's Ice World here down here in Abingdon, Maryland, and like I said, we're just getting going here. We just started in April, um, which is a dead time for the ice rink. You'd think more people would want to come to ice rink in the summer, but it's actually, with hockey going on, the winter time is where it's at down here. So I'm actually
Right.
down here right now. That's where I'm talking to you guys from.
Oh, great,
Yeah,
great.
so we're down here now. Just getting ready for the evening service here. We're pretty much 5 to 9 during the week here, getting all
Mm-hmm.
the youth hockey, the youth figure skating going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
So ton of parents in the building, ton of little guys and girls in the building. So we're out here open for them, and then weekends, pretty busy. We have birthday parties and all the other public skating and every other kind of activity that goes on down here at the ice rink. So
Have the truck down there, or is it an actual location inside of Ice World?
yeah, it's inside it's its own thing.
Oh, great.
So yep, full concession stand down here. Working on getting all of our specialty dogs down here. Not sure if we're gonna bring them all down or
Mm-hmm.
just bring one or two down or switch them out every week. Still working on that, but we will have some of the signature stuff down here.
Okay, so my question is, do I have to pay to get into Ice World to get your hot dogs, or can we just walk in?
No, you can just walk in. As long as you don't try to run on the ice, you'll be totally fine. Yeah, just open to the public. You can come right on down, and yeah, no fee to get in the building.
Oh, that's great. Awesome. So that means anybody listening, and whenever I put this out into the world here, they can just roll it in there and get a hot dog if they don't want to ice skate.
Yep, that's true. Or you can do both, and
Or you can do both.
or you do
Yeah.
both the hours. We usually post the hours on Instagram and Facebook of the cafe hours, snack bar hours. So
Yeah, I was gonna ask you if you want to share how you want people to reach out to you through Instagram and Facebook, I
yeah, the
believe.
best Instagram, Facebook are the two best for sure. Emails sometimes get buried, just because there's so many per day. Um,
Uh-huh.
DMs are usually quick. Instagram, Facebook messages are usually fairly quick with the reply. Email's always great too. I mean, I'll definitely get back to it, but the quickest is usually just short messages on the DMs.
Right. Well, I'm not far from you, so when we're done this podcast, I'm coming down to get a hot dog.
Oh, that sounds great.
So I will be down. That's for sure. Because
That
I have
sounds
been trying
great.
to. I've been chasing. I don't know if you saw, but when I post with you, I've been chasing you guys. Every time I look where you're at, I try to get there and I end up going to the opposite side of town.
Well, no, we definitely see it. We appreciate it, and we're out there. Like I said, it's coming down to the wire here. Season's almost over, but we have a couple great things coming up. I'm not sure when this is going to come out, but we have the barbecue bash coming up this weekend. We'll be there Friday, um, which is Friday the 14th, which is tomorrow as we're recording this.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then we're at Weber's Farm in Parkville for all the rest of the weekends of October.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah,
cool.
very, very popular over there. Very, very popular site. Um,
I used to
Lots of
take
fun
my
activities.
kids to Weber's Farm all the time. Every year we'd go get pumpkins and the apple cider donuts. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, everything's still there. It's still great. Yeah, we love going over there. The people are so friendly. The Webbers and all their staff are excellent, and of course, the apple cider donuts and slushies kind of speak for themselves over there.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, when you get down there, you'll have to tell them about my podcast. I have to talk to them. That'd be great.
Oh, I'm sure.
Bring them.
I don't know if they're podcast people, but think that they're a little old school. But hey, I would pass on the word for sure.
Yeah, you never know, right?
That's right.
So
You never know.
yeah, you never know, right? So my last question, so I know you're busy. You got to get running there to get some hot dogs fixing. Um, how has the pandemic changed your model? I mean, I know you guys did pretty good through the pandemic because you were lucky enough to be out there. Has anything changed between now and then?
Um, so the pandemic actually kind of created our business. Because like I said, we had the hot dog cart, which we just did on weekends, and that was strictly event based.
Right,
So 2020 hit, and boom, every single event is gone.
right,
So we lost about 95% of our business, um, just because nothing was open. Nobody was having events. We all know what happened. Don't have to get into it, but
right.
yeah, that kind of spurred the food truck. Who knows if that didn't happen, there might not be a food truck right now. So you know, kind of made the best of it. Like I said, we didn't have the food truck for 2020. I know all the food trucks that were out did really well because it was the only food you can get, really.
Hmm.
Uh, there was never any restrictions on food trucks because they were carry out. They had no dining. Um, so as long as everybody was following whatever guidelines were in place that minute, um, everything was fine with the food trucks.
Because we know they changed by the hour.
Yeah, I mean, no one knew what was going
Nobody
on.
knew what to do. Yeah,
Yeah, no
it
one
was
knew,
crazy.
and that went
Yep.
on both sides, the service side and the healthcare side. No one knew what was right. No one knew what was wrong. So we all just kind of tried to navigate our best. But yeah, we didn't have our truck out till 21. So um, the pandemic really created the food truck. At least for us, it did. So we
Right.
had to make that move.
And that's interesting because, like you said, if the pandemic hadn't happened, maybe you would still have your little dog cart pulling
There's,
around. Not,
I mean,
you know.
there's a very good chance. There's a very good chance because we were happy doing what we were doing on weekends. It wasn't too stressful. We still lived our normal life during the week. Um, but now, full time job. This is 24 hours a day, and I often get yelled at nighttime when we're trying to wind down, and I'm just like firing ideas at my wife, and she's just telling me to shut up, and I need to go to sleep, and I just can't turn it off. This is how we live now. This is how we live now. So I
Right.
uh, I eat, sleep, and breathe this truck, and it needs to work.
Yeah.
It needs to work.
Well, remind me when I come down to see you in about, I don't know what, maybe hour or so. I have an idea. I don't want to talk about it here, but I got an idea that I think would work for you
Okay.
for your food truck, and maybe you can pilot this on to other greater things for other. This could be like a trend to set for other.
I love it. I'm always down
Yeah.
to try something. We'll have to chit chat after the record button, after red light goes off.
Yeah, because I a friend of mine was going to start a food truck some years ago, and I did some research on it, and I'm like, wow, this can actually be done. I think this is pretty cool.
Yeah,
So
it's so funny that I can't tell you how many times people come up to us during the week and say, "Oh, I always want to start a food truck," or "I'm thinking about starting a food truck when I retire." And we're just like, people, listen, this is not something you want to do when you retire. This is not, if
it
you want
is
to just
not a retirement job, that is for
no,
sure.
no, if you want to relax and enjoy retirement, I mean, unless
It's
you
not.
really like to work, then food truck is probably not the best option for retirement. But hey, we all know there's certain folks that just can't stop. So
Yeah.
uh, in some cases, it'll be great for some people. But if you're
Right.
looking to wind down and just spoil the grandkids, then food truck probably isn't the best option for you.
You got that right. Hey, real quick, I want to ask another question before we
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
I talked to several food truck owners, and one in particular, I don't know if you wanted to mention him on this podcast, but about him as
yeah.
well. But he had said, "Don't ever buy a food truck. Get a because if the food truck breaks down, you're stuck. If the trailer breaks down, you can always put a truck under it.
Yep.
And is that some advice too? You think?
Yeah. Actually, it's funny you said that. I never wanted a truck. I wanted a trailer,
Right.
but my wife, being the brains of the operation, said, "Well, I can't drive a trailer. She can't. I can.
Mm.
Well, she couldn't. She's like, what if you need me to take it somewhere? I won't be able to drive it." I'm like, "Yeah, you can." And she kind of went back for it. She goes, "Okay, that's fine. What about people we hire? We have to know if they're able to drive a trailer." So I was like, I mean, you have a point, and I hate when she's right. But she had a point. But she had a point. So that's why we took the truck route. But yes, I mean, it's happened to us before where the truck breaks down, and
Right.
that's it. You're done.
Right. You're stuck.
Unless you can get that thing running again, you're done. And we actually broke down on the way to a private birthday party, I believe. This little guy was turning 3 or 4, and we were heading down there and just got stuck on the side of the road, and someone pulled over to chit chat with us and ask if we were all right. And they said, "Hey, we only pulled over because we recognized your truck. You're actually going to my daughter's son's birthday party right now. And we're just like, oh, this is embarrassing.
Oh
So he
no.
was actually heading to the party we were going to.
Wow.
But yeah, you know what happens? You're totally right with the truck and trailer situation. You can always find something to tow with. Um,
Right.
it's just that you got to trust whoever's driving. And then I've talked to a lot of the trailer owners, and I don't think one of them has told me that they let anybody else tow their trailer.
Wow.
So yeah, it kind of puts you in a spot. If you want to get off the truck for a day or two, you can't, or you really have to trust whoever's you're letting tow your vehicle, which makes sense. But no,
Right.
that's
Yeah. There you have it. Right. The pros and cons of
yep,
a truck and a trailer. Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
That's
pros and
interesting.
cons for both. Yeah.
So, do you have anything else that you want to add? Anything else you want to say?
No, nothing else. I just just appreciate all the support from everyone who's come out and given us a try the past 7 years, and we'd really be nowhere without our great customers and staff. Um,
Right.
it's been so fun. This journey has been so fun, so rewarding, difficult at times, but it's been great. Stressful, but it's awesome, and can't wait to see where the next couple of years take us.
Right. And that's great. You said that's stressful because that's why I'm interviewing. I love people's story. I love to hear their struggles, their challenges, and that it's rewarding. And that's great. That you said it's rewarding, but challenging. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's very real. Some people like to just show you the good side or talk about the good stuff, but it goes both ways for sure. Um,
Absolutely.
but the good outweigh the bad all the time, and when the bad start outweighing the good, then we'll rethink what we're doing. But hopefully that never
Absolutely.
happens. But we're gonna keep on chugging here, and you know, hopefully we'll be able to serve tons more
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I will be down there shortly to give you guys a try. And
Love it.
I'm excited to dig into a hot dog. I haven't had a hot dog in probably about 5 or 6 months now, so I'm ready. I'm
Oh, you're
excited.
due.
I'm due.
You're
So,
due.
well, I appreciate you coming on and talking with me. It's been a great talk, great conversation, and I will see you soon.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
See ya.
See you.